Hey, what's going on, everyone? Axel here. Today, we're going to talk about Update 40. Update 40, we don't have an official date for it, but it should be coming out this week, according to what I've heard from developer postings on the forums and their Wednesday live streams and such. From what I've heard, it's probably going to come out this week. So that's really cool. We're going to get some cool new stuff. Update 40. Actually, before we say anything else, let's just acknowledge how cool it is that they're now 40 updates in. Like, update 40, that's big number. I mean, this is a game from 2006. It's going on 13 years. That's just really cool, and it's amazing that they're still doing regular updates, and we're going to get probably a new expansion next year, new races next year, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. So that's so awesome and really cool to acknowledge, first of all. But let's go ahead and move on to release notes. These are the Lamania version 2 release notes, but I decided to just go over these instead of waiting for the official Update 40 release notes that we'll presumably get this week, because I highly doubt it's going to be very much different. And if there is something major that's different, I might make a video on it if it's worth highlighting, but it's probably not. Probably not going to be much different. So let's go ahead and get started on these release notes. So the first note is that the Night Revels is returning, so that's really cool, and they're doing a lot of big changes to it this year. Let's go ahead and just read this note. Our yearly festival event returns with 2 new dungeon challenges, a new way to experience the Delir's graveyard landscape, and a new public hub to access the Night Revels challenges. Additionally, new items are available from the Night Revels vendor, including cloaks, Reaver's plate mail, helmets, a new pet, and more. Return to the scene of a Minotaur village and gravework, so that's a new quest, and face a spectral dragon in Eternity Unleash. Bring back the Maybar raid. So that's really cool. So the Maybar raid is the old spectral dragon raid, and that's the what kind of one of the more infamous things about the old Maybar. And they kind of cut it out in recent years because of performance issues and lag. And they made some other changes to Night Revels this year because of lag. So it used to be that you had a 12-person, well, actually it wasn't 12-person, it was just a public area in the graveyard. And they've cut that down to now it's private instance. So it's 6 people, like a normal quest, which I understand why they're doing that. They're doing that because of lag, because of performance issues. And that makes sense, and it's probably a change that was needed, but it's sad for me to see that, because to me, having a big public area was a really special part of the event, and it was a really cool part of the event. And I got to the point, even though I didn't play Night Revels really much the past couple years, when I would run it a lot, and I used to run it a lot in the past, lag was kind of a not something that bothered me too much, unless it got to the point where I literally could not move my character. And even then, it was just kind of something that I almost associated as part of the event. Like, lag in Maybar was just, it was kind of one of the fun things to expect with Maybar. I know a lot of people just hate lag entirely, but lag to me was kind of part of the experience. So it's a shame that that's going away. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, we'll have a 6-man dungeon. Now, apparently all the quests are going to be outside the graveyard now. So that's cool, I guess. That way you can enter the quest quicker and not have to go through the graveyard to do that, I would presume. So that's cool. But in any case, the Spectral Dragon raid is coming back, and we're also getting new items and stuff. So that's cool. I definitely want to run Maybar this year. So I'm definitely planning to do that, and we're probably going to see it pretty soon, because it's already October 1st today, as the date I'm recording this. So we're probably going to see it coming very, very soon. I don't know if it's going to be right when Update 40 hits. I guess they'll let us know. They haven't really said. Okay, next thing on Update 40, we're getting a new raid called Killing Time, and this new raid is actually part of the Dragonborn Prophecy, I think that's what it was. Yeah, Dragon Blood Prophecy adventure pack that we got in Update 35. So for you all who don't remember, Update 35, that was March of 2017, and that's the update that gave us Riding the Storm out, and I think the quest Black and Blue. So it's cool that they're adding the new raid to that adventure pack. So a lot of people probably already own it, and that's really cool that they're doing that. I mean, that's really what's the word I'm trying to think of? That's really generous of them because they could have easily sold it separately or included it as part of some other adventure pack in the future. But they're not doing that. They're basically giving it away for free to people that already have that pack. So I don't know if you want to call that technically free or not, but since a lot of people already own that pack who are premium, they're not gonna have to buy anything again until they get the new content. They're just gonna get it. So that's really cool. They don't have the items listed here on the release notes, but I'm sure when the update hits, they'll put the new items probably, I would assume, in the release notes, so they'll make it available at least in the wiki or something to kind of review. I've seen a few pieces in there that look pretty cool and worth going after. But yeah, it's just cool that we're getting a new raid. I like raids. Raids are awesome. The more raids, the better. I wish we could get like 3 or 4 or 5 new raids a year. So it's really cool that we're getting another raid. So awesome. Raids are cool. Okay, next thing in the release notes, Wood Elves. So we are getting Wood Elves, and it's the way they're doing this race is different from how they've done any race before, basically. So Wood Elves are considered a variant of the regular elf race. So Wood Elves are not going to have their own past life, and the enhancement tree is I'm not going to go through all the changes, but there's some minor differences between the regular elf tree and the wood elf tree. But I think the big thing that they're kind of selling this on is one of the big things is cosmetics. The wood elf looks cosmetically quite a bit different from what I can tell from the regular elf. Not that I run elves very much. I'm not. I know a lot of people like elves in the past. I like the uglier races. Like I tend to run like either half orcs or dwarves or humans. That's just me. So I haven't run them very much. But cosmetically, I was looking at a few of the pictures that some people were posting on the Lamania forums. And let's just look at these right now. Now look at those ears. That's the first thing that people pointed out was the ears look kind of big. I mean, a lot of people like that. Some people might not like that. But someone else pointed out on the forums here that the ears weren't actually that much bigger, but it looks like compared to the size of the head, they look a lot bigger. But it's something a lot of people noticed, at least. I don't know if people like that or not like that, but I don't care. I don't really have a strong opinion on it any other way. So, you know, that's cool. The thing with Wood Elf is you do have to buy it. So it's not a free-to-play race, even though it's a variant of Elf. You do have to pay for it and buy it separately. VIPs get it for free, of course. But, yeah, you have to buy it if you want to play Elf. So I can see a lot of people buying it for the cosmetic thing alone, perhaps. Or it's just cool flavor. More races, the better. Races are cool. This variant thing that they're doing, I haven't seen this before. I don't think they've ever done this before, and I'm curious if they'll do that for maybe for other races as well. Maybe we'll get like a different type of dwarf or something, like a Duergar dwarf or something. Maybe they'll do the same for other races. I don't know, but it looks kind of cool. So next, let's talk, speaking of cosmetics, the next thing they're introducing to the game is cloaks. So there's going to be a new cosmetic slot for cloaks, and you can now glamour cloaks across the game and apply them to your new cosmetic slots and have a cosmetic cloak. So that's really cool. Apparently they put a lot of work into the animations for this, so they look pretty cool from what I've seen. So that's awesome. Like this and Wood Elf and cloaks, I'm glad they're focusing on cosmetics. Like that's one thing that, as you all know who have watched my videos, that's the way I want the game to be monetized. Like DDO, it's a fact that the game has got to make a profit, has got to make money in order to stay on, in order for it to exist as a game. So this is the way I want them to make money. Like this is the best way, in my opinion, for them to make money, other than, of course, selling new content. But this is, I love monetizing things with cosmetics. It's really cool. And honestly, I'm kind of a sucker lately for buying mirrors of glamoring and glamoring cool stuff. I have a lot of sets of armor and like armor and helmets and things that I kind of swap out on my character, and I would like to see them actually put in, like, the only thing stopping from me, and the one big thing I want to see them do is put in some kind of storage for cosmetics, like a closet or something, so it doesn't take up so much inventory space. But I'm getting kind of off topic, but nevertheless, it's really cool to see them monetizing more through cosmetics. I don't know if I'll really care about Cloaks or show them that much of my character, but I'll probably play around with it and see how I like it. So that's cool. So everyone, you can buy Mirrors of Glamoring and Glamour Cloaks, and there's apparently some cool ones that are going to be out for Maybar, some cool cloaks, so that's might be worth running Maybar for. Okay, the last thing that I'm going to talk about, and I'm not going through every single release note because it gets into a lot of little things, but I think the last major thing coming with this update is the monk changes. So they are nerfing monks again. They also, if you remember, they did also nerf monks a little bit in update 38 as well, by reducing some of the benefits from their enhancement trees. And the one change they're making is monk unarmed strike is now going to give a +1 to attack instead of a plus 0.5 weapon damage. So let's go ahead and bring up their official discussion, because they actually did a separate discussion on the Lamania forums for this, and I'll link that below in the description so you can check it out if you want to. But here's what they had to say about the monks. And okay, so this is what they had to say. We're here today to talk about an upcoming change coming soon, likely update 40. A few years ago, we converted hand wraps from being non-weapon equipable items into actual weapons, a change that allowed a large number of effects and abilities to start working with hand wraps as they do other weapons. In that process, we also brought over most of the existing features meant to help hand wrap DPS be equivalent with that of other weapon types. As part of our continued balance pass on melees, it has become clear that hand wrap monks are still an outlier in terms of DPS. When compared to other melees and even other monks, hand wrap monks still deal substantially more damage than other similar builds with similar gear. This is in part due to an increased number of weapon die while wielding hand wraps. In retrospect, the buffs they got in the transition to being real weapons made the actual damage dice much less necessary. They've noted, and they've talked about this before, that they've tested this thoroughly, and monks are just really far ahead in terms of DPS compared to certain, now not all monks, just certain monk builds are quite a bit ahead compared to other melees, and they want to kind of bring them back to be more on the same level. So they're saying that this is going to be about a 10% reduction in DPS for monks. But I just, from what I've read here, and I don't know a lot about monks, but it seems reasonable to me, and I actually haven't seen as much kind of uproar in the forums as you normally would see for a nerf like this. And yeah, there's definitely been some, but it seems reasonable from what they're saying. And guys, just keep in mind that this is just one step. Like they already pointed out with the epic defensive fighting buff they gave all melees very recently. I think it was update 39 patch 2. I think it was, that this is a continuous process to balance classes. So there's probably going to be more changes for melees in the future. At least when they talked about epic defensive fighting, they said it was, from what I recall, it was just one of many potential future changes. So they're always changing stuff. They're going to continue to change stuff. Monks are still going to be really good. So, you know, I hope it doesn't upset anyone too much, but it seemed necessary from what they're saying. Well, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any other comments or replies to anything I said, please let me know below in the comments. That's going to be it for this video. I'll see you all next time. Have a good one. Take care.